All right, we're back with the second segment here in our mock draft, 11 through 20. So, guys, the number 11 pick goes to the Denver Nuggets. Brian Shaw just finished his first year head coach. Shows some encouraging signs down the stretch. Demarus, what do the Nuggets need here at 11?
I think mainly the Nuggets need a shooting guard. They need, as a team overall, defense and energy. I thought they lacked that a lot last season. They can get both of them spots in this draft coming up in the first two rounds. That'd be great.
Okay, Darrien, who do the Nuggets look to pick here at 11?
I think the Nuggets need some size because with JaVale McGee, he's not the most intelligent basketball player. He's big, and then he got hurt last year. Not JaVale McGee, Kenneth Faried is the energy guy. He's smaller, though, so I think they go with Dario Saric from Croatia.
Right.
European big man. He's 6'10". You know, he can also play the three. He can shoot it a little bit, as most Europeans can. He can run the floor. I think he'll help Ty Lawson and the Nuggets get the offense going.
Personally, I think the Nuggets, like DeMar said, they need shooting guard help. So I think they go Nick Stauskas out of Michigan. Had a very good year. Played with Trey Burke. This was really his year to shine. Underrated athletically. Can shoot out the gym. Can help spread the floor for the guys like Kenneth Faried and play along Ty Lawson. So I think they go with Nick Stauskas at 11. Number 12 is the Orlando Magic. Have another first round pick. So DeMar, what do the Magic need here after their second first round pick?
Yeah, I think the Magic in this part of the draft, they're going to focus on their front court. Try to either get a 4 or 5 in there to help round their team out.
Okay, Darrien, who do the Magic take here with their second first round pick?
I think the Magic need shooting help because they don't really have one, and I think James Young from Kentucky is the guy that can help them out. He is probably the best shooter on the team that was, 2 points shy of being national champions. He's inconsistent, but I think with age he'll mature, he'll get better, and I think he works well with people like Victor Oladipo who likes to attack. If you kick out to him, he'll knock down the shot. So I think he'll help the Magic if he does go there.
Personally, I agree with DeMar's here about the front court help. And I think Rodney Hood, a guy who's been a little bit under the radar, but probably was Duke's second best player all year. Guy who can shoot, he can score, and I think he's a good defender and only going to get better. So I think the Magic take Rodney Hood here and help develop that team, put Exum with Oladipo, have a formidable young team there. All right, next, the Minnesota Timberwolves. We all know about the rumblings about Kevin Love. He visited Boston last year of his contract, won't sign an extension apparently. Flip Saunders is going to coach again. So, DeMar's, what do the Timberwolves need here?
I think mainly they need wing players, mainly at the 3 spot, small forward. Struggled quite a bit there last year. And if Love is gone by the time the draft starts, they probably need to also draft a power forward that can at least somewhat take his spot.
Darrien, who do you think the Timberwolves will take it?
I do think with Love isn't gone by the draft, he will be gone at some point during draft night. I don't think he starts the season in Minnesota, and if he does, they will trade him soon. So I think they'll draft his replacement, and I think that replacement is Adrian Payne, power forward from Michigan State. Another guy that knows how to win. He plays tough. He's gritty. He crashes the boards. I think he had one monster game during the tournament. So I think he just shows up when it's time to show up, and that's what they need in Minnesota.
I agree with Darrien. I think Adrian Payne's a good pick here to replace Kevin Love. Can stretch the floor, very underrated athletically, and can rebound and do the dirty work for your team. I think somebody you can probably build around with a young team. Ricky Rubio, make sure he gets the ball and gets his points. So I think the Timberwolves take Adrian Payne there. All right, 14. The Phoenix Suns. Jeff Hornacek did a great job this year. A team with multiple first-round picks, so we'll be talking about them a lot as we continue this draft. DeMar, what do the Suns need here with their first of 3 first-round picks?
Yeah, with the Suns having them 3 first-round picks, I think this first one they're going to try to build with up-tempo. Try to get an up-tempo scheme going that they was trying to do last year with Coach Hornacek. Maybe they would draft a shooting guard or a small forward.
Okay, Darrien, who do you think the Suns take with that first-round pick?
I do think they'll draft a shooting guard or a small forward, but not with this pick right now. With this pick, I think they'll take Jesse Nurkic, the center from Croatia. These Croatians are going to go in this draft. I think they drafted Alex Len last year, but he had injury problems, and he wasn't what they expect him to be. And I think drafting Nurkic would help them out tremendously.
Personally, I think a guy who I like personally in this draft who hasn't been talked about enough, T.J. Warren out of NC State, was the ACC Player of the Year, 6'8", can score from anywhere. And I think you put him on the Suns with Eric Bledsoe, Gordon Dragic, most improved player, can definitely be a formidable team, especially when you talk about DeMar's the up-tempo style. And not 7 seconds or less, but very up-tempo on Hornacek. So we'll move on now to the Atlanta Hawks. Danny Ferry, the GM now, making a lot of moves. And I think I like the direction that this team is headed into. Took the Indiana Pacers to 7 games. Got some good young players down there. So Demarus, what do they need here at 15, first round?
They get a player with some high upside that can do a bunch, have athleticism, mainly at the small forward spot and maybe at center, either the backup in a backup role or to eventually start.
Okay, Darrien, who do the Hawks take here?
I think they'll go perimeter. I don't think Lou Williams brought them what they thought he would. So I think they'll draft the best shooter in this draft. To me, is Nick Stauskas, the shooting guard from Michigan. I think he'll help with Jeff Teague. You know, Jeff Teague runs the point, so he'll look and kick out to Nick Stauskas, who will knock down shots.
Personally, I think the Hawks here take Zach LaVine out of UCLA. A very raw prospect, but I think has the upside to potentially be a good young player in this league. Very athletic, and I think he will continue to develop and be able to help that Atlanta Hawks team and probably come in and start a lone team in that backcourt possibly. So next is the Chicago Bulls at 16. We all know how Derrick Rose's injuries affected them. Joakim Noah did a great job filling in, and they still have Tom Thibodeau. So Demarus, what do the Bulls need here?
Bulls will have 2 picks in the next 5, so I think the 2 main things they need depth at the shooting guard and point guard spots, obviously, and also a power forward that look like to replace Boozer that should not be there this time next season.
So Darrien, who do you think the Bulls take here?
I agree. Boozer probably will get amnesty, but I think since they traded Luol Deng to Cleveland, they're still missing that small forward presence on the team. Jimmy Butler plays good at the shooting guard position. He's a good defender, but I think to help offensively, which is where they need the most help, Kyle Anderson, small forward from UCLA, he can create a shot. He has a smooth offensive game. He could use some work on a couple different things, post and perimeter shot, but I think that those are things that he will work on and eventually become a decent offensive player in this league.
Personally, I think the Bulls here, they take somebody who actually has been falling a little bit in the draft, in Tyler Ennis. We all know what he did at Syracuse. First year, freshman. Probably could develop a little bit more. Draft stock seemed a little bit high, but could fall. It could be a steal for the Bulls to give them depth at the point guard position, especially not sure of Derrick Rose's health. But even if Rose is back, you put Ennis in there, it could definitely help out that bench. So, 17 is the Celtics yet again in the first round. Demarus, what do you think they do here with that second first round pick?
I think the Celtics can either go big here, but the key is they need a player that can come in and shoot and create their own shot right away.
Okay, Darrien, who do you think the Celtics take here?
I think the Celtics do go big, and they'll go European big. Kristaps Porzingis, center from Spain. He has a nice post game. All Europeans can shoot, so he has a nice touch from the mid-range type game. I think he can get up the floor. I think him and Rondo can run the pick and roll if Rondo is still a Celtic, and I think that will work well with Boston and their intention to climb up the Eastern Conference.
I think the Celtics need another shooting guard here who can score and shoot. And one thing we need to remember, Avery Bradley is an upcoming free agent, so it's not 100% sure if he will be back with the team. So you have James Young out of Kentucky, still only 18 years old, but I think can develop into a good shooting guard, can score, is a little bit inconsistent at times, but I think he'll grow past that and be a solid shooting guard for this team, and could possibly pair him with Rondo in the future. So, number 18, the Suns again are picking in the first round, as we said. Demarus, what the Suns do here with that second first round pick?
2 options. Either they can again go and get another wing player, or they need a rebounder that can score and also dominate on the boards.
Okay, Darrien, who do the Suns take here?
I think they'll go perimeter. They have Gordon Dragic coming off his third team All NBA season, so I think he'll hold down the point guard. I also think they have what's his name from the Clippers, Eric Bledsoe. He's athletic, so I think he'll probably come off the bench. But I think they need some help shooting, and I think Zach LaVine will give them that. Shooting guard from UCLA. He's 6'6", so he's a regular two guard size, and I think he'll help that backcourt as well as Phoenix. They like to run and gun. I think he can run with them as well.
Personally, I think Phoenix needs a little bit of front court help, and I think a guy that helped his draft stock, especially in this NCAA tournament against, let's say, NBA level talent in Kentucky, was Cleanthony Early out of Wichita State. Team was undefeated for a long time, but I think he's a matchup nightmare. About 6'8", can score, can rebound. I think can definitely come in and make an immediate impact, probably in the starting lineup with the Suns, as they're probably only a game or 2 out of the playoffs this year. So I think the Suns take early there. Now the Bulls yet again. So Demarus, who do the Bulls need to take here with their second pick in the first round here?
Well, with Chicago, it would be nice if they can get a player that can create their own shot that's very versatile. Remind you of Derrick Rose, healthy, and also if a backup power forward's there, they should also take that player also.
Okay, Darrien, who do you think the Bulls try to take care of the draft.
I think with Derrick Rose's health issues, they'll take a point guard, Efrey Payton from Louisiana Lafayette. He's small. He's under a lot of people's radars, but he's a smooth point guard, good ball handling skills, and I think he can help set up another player if the Bulls decide to get a scoring type that can create his own shot.
Personally, I think one of the most versatile players in this draft is Kyle Anderson out of UCLA. About 6'8", can run point guard 1 through 3, probably even a little bit of 4. Does need to develop a little bit offensively, but the upside is there. You put somebody who can handle the ball and let Derrick Rose play a little bit of off ball sometimes, that can help out and keep Derrick Rose fresh. So I think Kyle Anderson out of UCLA would be a good pick here for the Bulls. Number 20, Toronto Raptors. Had a very good year. Kyle Lowry's a been a free agent. Love what Dwayne Casey's doing up there. Demarus, what do the Raptors need to take the next step?
Byron, like you just said, Kyle Lowry is a free agent. I don't see him coming back to Canada. So, for the Raptors, they need to get a point guard, and also, if a backup shooting guard is available, if they can't get the point guard of the future, they should also go there.
What do you think they take here, Darrien?
I think they help their point guard position. I do think Kyle Lowry will be back, by the way, but I think they need somebody off the bench that can come off and help them out. And I think they'll pick Tyler Ennis, the point guard from Syracuse. He has a nice shot. He rises in big game moments, and he's from Toronto. So I think the homecoming story will be nice for him.
That'll be a good pick there for the Raptors. That is 11 through 20. We'll be back with 21 through 30.